Hello everyone, this is Blue Galaxy and welcome to Python tutorial. Whether you are an experienced programmer or not, this tutorial is intended for everyone who wishes to learn the Python programming language. In this video, we're going to set up our Python environment and create a simple program. Later on the next videos, we're going to create more advanced programs such as a calculator and a guessing game. You are welcome to post your comments below for questions, discussions, and updates. So, just a quick background. What is Python? It's a general-purpose programming language created nearly 30 years ago by a guy named Guido van Rossum. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyway, Python has become one of the most popular programming languages today due to having a straightforward syntax and having a smoother learning curve than other languages. Python was designed for readability and has some similarities to the English language. Despite being a straightforward language and its relative ease of use, it can be used for multiple practical purposes such as web development, data science, and mobile applications. To start programming with Python, we're going to need two things. First, we need a Python program which will actually interpret and run our code. And second thing will be an IDE. We will discuss more on that later, but for now, let's go ahead and download Python. There are two major Python versions, Python 2 and Python 3. Python 2 and 3 are quite different. One of the key differences between these versions is the support. By the end of 2020, Python 2 will no longer be supported. In this tutorial, we're going to use Python 3 because it has newer features. To give you an idea how popular Python is, the Windows OS has a pre-installed Python program in it. But you might still want to download and install the latest Python version out there to access more features. I already have the Python installer on my machine, so I'm just going to go ahead and open it. Let's click install now and then wait for a few seconds. So the setup was successful. Now that we've installed Python, let's proceed with downloading an IDE for Python. An IDE, or Integrated Development Environment, is a software that consolidates basic tools required for writing a software. To put it simply, it makes writing code more convenient. You'll see later how using an IDE could be a better choice as opposed to simply using a text editor. In this tutorial, we're going to use a Python IDE called PyCharm. It's one of the popular Python IDEs out there. Let's search for PyCharm, then download it on a site called jetbrains.com. You don't necessarily have to use PyCharm to write your Python code. You're free to explore other IDEs after this course. Anyway, as you can see, there is a paid version called Professional and a free version called Community. But don't worry, the Community version will have all we need for this tutorial. I've already downloaded the Community version for Windows, but PyCharm is also available for Mac and Linux. So let's open the installer and see what happens. I'll just click next here, and I'll leave the destination to the default value. I'll be checking this so that a desktop shortcut will be created, and you might want to check this box as well so that PyCharm is used whenever you open that .py file. Then let's proceed to installation. Now that the setup is completed, let's go ahead and run PyCharm. Just click OK here. In this window, you're going to have two choices for your user interface. There's the dark theme called Darkula, which sounds like a misspelled fictional character, and the light theme. I'm gonna just choose dark here, just because it makes it easier for me to read code this way. Then you can just choose to skip remaining and set defaults. Before writing our code, let's first create a new project. You can think of a project as a collection of files needed to run your applications. Let's name this project as practice. And then as you can see, the base interpreter field is currently loading. What it's doing here is that it's searching for the latest Python version installed in your machine. As for my case, I have 3 Python versions here, Python 2 and 3, which was pre-installed in my Windows OS, and then the one we downloaded earlier, which was Python 3.8. There you go. You can just leave the other fields to their default values. By default, whenever you open PyCharm, it's going to show you a bunch of useful tips. You would want to keep this box unchecked. This way you can get more familiar with using this IDE. I'm just going to click close now. Now we can create our first Python file. To do so, right click here, then new, and then Python file. Let's name this one as app1, then enter. You can see here that a file named app1.py was created. .py is just the extension name for Python files, just to get that out of the way. Okay, great. We can now proceed on writing our first Python program. The simplest directive in Python is the print command. It simply prints out a line. Let's say we want our program to print out the string hello universe. We would use print, and then inside the parentheses, we'll enclose the hello universe string with double quotation marks. Hello universe. To run this program, we can go to the menu bar, go inside run, and click run. There you go, it was able to generate a string hello universe in our console. By the way, you can also enclose a string in single quotation marks. Let's try doing that. I'm just gonna change it here. There. If you have noticed, the PyCharm IDE intelligently changed the double quote to the right, this one. It was able to change it to a single quote automatically, which is quite cool. Anyway, let's run this now. So as you can see, it still generated the same output as earlier. As for me, I just like to use double quotes most of the time, so I'm changing this back again to double quotes. We can add another print command to our code as well. Since I'm having a quite wonderful day so far, I'm gonna print it's a wonderful day. Then let's try to run this again. Now it's printing hello universe, and then on another line, it's a wonderful day. So it begs the question, do I need to put the strings on a separate print statement to get a new line, similar to what we did here? Well, not really. Let's try reproducing the output by placing the strings on a single print command. In order to do this, we have to use \n after hello universe. This one, \n. Then I'm just gonna cut this one, delete this, and then paste this here. Now let's try to run this again. Still, it's printing the same output as earlier. So what happened here? When we inserted the /n or \n after hello universe, you're telling Python to create a new line. The \n we use is something referred to as an escape character. There are also other escape characters used in Python. Some of the escape characters also allow us to insert illegal characters inside of a string. An example of an illegal character is a double quote inside of a string that is already surrounded by double quotes. I hope you were able to follow me on that, but if not, let's just see what happens when we do that. I'm just gonna clean this one here. What we're going to do is insert a double quote here, just in the middle. Again, this is what we mean when we say a double quote, this one, inside a string that is already surrounded by double quotes. This one is the one we inserted. Now we can see there is a red line on our code. Let me just highlight there. So it's telling us that it's missing a closing quote. Anyway, this tells us that there's something wrong with our code and that the program thinks that the string already ended with this double quote. Okay? On another note, one of the good things with IDE is that it makes it easier to spot syntax errors even before running our code. Let's try running our program now. As expected, it threw an error saying invalid syntax. This one right here. Now let's try to resolve this by escaping, quote unquote, the double quotes that we wanted to print out, this one, and let it show on our console. I hope that makes sense. So to fix this error, let's escape this double quote right here by inserting a backslash just before this double quote. Then let's try to run our program again. Okay, great. Now we're able to print out the double quotes. So let's just escape another double quote on our print statement just to make it look better. So this one I'm just gonna cut here and then paste it here and then paste another escape double quote here. And then let's run this one again. Finally, now we're able to print out Hello Universe and close in double quotes. So for our recap, we're able to install Python and PyCharm IDE. Then, we've created our first program which includes a simple print statement. We've also learned how to use escape characters, particularly the \n and \double quote. This concludes our first of several videos on Python programming. On the next part of this course, it gets more interesting. We're going to learn how to make our program more dynamic by introducing Python variables. Anyway, thanks for watching and I hope to catch you on the next video.